Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to another video. Today I'm just going to be sitting down with you guys and telling you guys exactly how I lost weight. I lost 120 pounds and I've kept it off for coming up to 4 years now, so it's like 3.5 years, and I lost weight naturally without any surgery or any supplements or weight loss drugs, or I don't know what else there is, to be honest, but without anything. Without anything except for being in a calorie deficit, basically. I have obviously spoken about this a lot, like my whole channel is basically dedicated to how I lost weight and my journey and all that stuff, but I've got this question so much recently because I've got a lot of new followers on like Instagram and even some new subscribers, and they are just asking the question like, how did you lose weight? I always get questions asking if I've had surgery or any other kind of help with weight loss. So I thought I would make today's video just because it's like an updated version. It's easy to find, it'll just be here. So anyone is new and wants to know exactly how I lost weight, this video is for you. If you already know how I lost weight, you can skip this video if you want, or you know, you might find I might give you guys a little bit more information, I don't know. Just watch the video if you want to. I know I've said this, like I've spoken about how I lost weight so much, but I thought it would be a good idea to just sit down and just go through my journey in just one video, exactly what I did to lose the weight, how I've kept it off, and not only lose weight, not just lose body fat, but to change my whole body composition and just change my whole body. Basically, my body looks completely different to what it did when I started my journey. So for those of you that are new, that don't know who I am, my name is Louise. I used to be morbidly obese. I weighed 269 pounds and I'm 5'7". That made me technically morbidly obese, and with a very high BMI. I started my journey in January 2020. So I started it literally after going on a night out with my best friend. It was for her birthday. We went out on a night out and I just reached a point, like I've been wanting to lose weight for such a long time. I've tried loads of things. I've tried counting my calories before, like when I was younger, but I did it in like a very unhealthy way. Like I tried restricting my calories way too much, so I did lose weight, but then once I stopped counting my calories, I gained weight. Like it wasn't sustainable. And then after I had kids, that's when I had like my most weight gain. So I've always kind of struggled with my weight throughout my whole life, like up and down, but I've never been like an obese child. Like looking back on pictures and stuff, like I personally remember being a child and always feeling like the bigger friend, or feeling like I've always worried about my weight, but looking back on pictures, like I wasn't even that overweight. Like there was times where I was a little bit chubbier, but like I was never like massively obese. But like I remember my weight fluctuating up and down throughout like my whole childhood. When I was a teenager, it was something that I was quite self-conscious of. Like I was always chubbier than like my friends and stuff, and I was always trying to lose weight. So like my whole life is been like trying to lose weight basically, which is pretty sad if you think of it. But yeah, so I gained quite a bit of weight when I was a teenager. Like when I got into college, I gained quite a bit of weight, and then I started trying to lose weight. I did lose weight, and then I started to regain it because it was unsustainable, and then I got pregnant, and then that's when I kind of just felt like I gave up and I gained so much weight. But even after I had my first son, I did try losing weight. So I tried Slim Fast, I tried Slimming World, I feel like I tried so much stuff. Like I literally even tried getting like diet pills and stuff. Like I tried everything to try and lose weight, apart from like changing my whole lifestyle. So yeah, I tried everything except for what would work, which is a sustainable, healthy lifestyle and counting your calories. But that's what I want to talk to you guys about anyway. But yeah, then I had my second child, and that's when like I actually feel like I actually reached my heaviest point before I got pregnant with my second child, because when I was actually pregnant with him, I was considered high risk because of my weight, and they said that I was at high risk of diabetes and preeclampsia, and I genuinely didn't think that I would get like preeclampsia or anything like that, but I did end up developing preeclampsia, and I definitely do blame my weight. And I had a very difficult pregnancy with him due to my weight. Like I was very immobile, but even with all of that, I didn't actually gain weight during my pregnancy. So yeah, I definitely hit like probably my highest weight before I had my second son, and then after I had him, I feel like maybe I gained a little bit of weight, or I even stayed the same. I didn't weigh myself. That was one thing. I didn't want scales in the house. I did try losing weight and I couldn't lose weight, and I just reached a point where I was so fed up. Like I was so sick and tired of just feeling depressed anxious all the time because I was really suffering with my mental health, and my weight held me back from so much stuff. Like I was just felt like I was trapped in my body, and I felt like I just didn't want to go anywhere, didn't want to do anything. Everything was exhausting. I was struggling with so many things that is supposed to be normal when you're like as young as I was. Yeah, so when I started I was 24, and I couldn't like bend over and put my shoes on. I had to sit down and put my shoes on. I struggled to get out of the bath. Walking around was difficult. Like I had to sit down quite a lot. Walking up the stairs I would get dizzy, heart palpitations and all that stuff. So my weight was massively affecting my everyday life, and it was like my new normal, if that makes sense. But I just knew that it wasn't normal, and that like I just really wanted to lose weight. Like I really didn't like the way I looked, and just I was really depressed. So I started in January 2020. Long-winded way of telling you guys. If you're new to my channel, you'll know that I ramble and I talk a lot of rubbish, and I don't take a while to get to the point, but I eventually get there, right? We eventually reach the point. What I did to start, right, so we'll just get to the point, yeah? So what I did to start was I downloaded MyFitnessPal, which is a calorie counting app. If you don't know how to use that, I do have a video on my channel. If you just type in MyFitnessPal tutorial, it will come up, and basically I downloaded that, and that actually gave me 1,800 calories, like after putting in all of like the details, like my height, weight, my goal and all that kind of stuff. It gave me 1,800 calories, which in hindsight I wish I didn't go with, only because MyFitnessPal isn't an accurate way to find out how many calories you need to eat in a day. And I feel like that's why I did lose weight fairly quickly. Like in my first week I lost 9 pounds, and obviously when you first start losing weight you lose a lot of water weight as well. But I do feel like I could have probably started losing weight on a bit of a higher calories. Even 2,000 calories I would have still been losing weight on. And I did notice that the bigger I was, like when I started, the bigger I wasn't as hungry as what I am like when I don't have as much body fat to lose. So it was kind of fairly easy at that point, like to start, and I was very motivated, and I reached a point where I was like, I'm done, like I really need to. But I know I could have probably lost, like I would have definitely lost weight just by eating 2,000 calories a day, and then it just would have been a little bit more sustainable. But it worked out for me. But that's why I just want to put it in this video, just for anyone thinking that when you download MyFitnessPal that the calories that they give you is what you should eat to lose weight. I definitely recommend not doing that. I recommend either tracking your calories over the course of a week and then seeing how many calories you eat a day, and then just reducing it by 250 to 300 calories, and then see how you get on, and you should like lose weight. And if you don't lose weight, then you just reduce your calories a little bit more. If you don't want to do that, you can go on tdeecalculator.net. That's a calorie calculator that I like to use now, and you basically just input all of your info on there and what your goal is to lose weight, and then it will give you a calorie amount, or it'll give you like your maintenance, and then you can reduce the calories yourself, or it will give you a suggested calorie amount for how much you should eat to lose weight. And yeah, you can go on to MyFitnessPal, which I do show in my tutorial how to do it, where you change like how many calories you want to eat, and you can kind of change the macros and stuff. So many people have been saying to me that you have to now pay for MyFitnessPal to be able to do that stuff. I've got MyFitnessPal and I don't pay for it, and I can still do that. So I'm a bit confused. I don't know if it's like just for new users, like I don't know. But with me, I can go on there and change like my percentage. Like I could change my calories on there, and like the macros, I can kind of change the percentages and stuff. So whenever like I need to change it up, I can just go on there and change it. There's loads and loads of different calorie counting apps, like there's NutriCheck, and there's probably loads, but yeah, I prefer MyFitnessPal just because I've been using it for a long time. And obviously when I first started tracking my calories, it was just a new skill that I had to learn, so it just took a little bit like more time to kind of prepare my meals and then like weigh out the food and then start tracking. The first month of tracking, I didn't weigh out my food, and I just kind of eyeballed and guessed, and I think that I definitely must have been eating more than 1,800 calories a day within the first month while I wasn't weighing out my food. Because when I did start weighing out my food, I noticed that I was definitely underestimating how many calories I was eating. So I probably was eating close to 2,000 calories, but I still lost loads of weight. So I started losing my first week I lost like 9 pounds, and then I think it went down to like 5 pounds or something, and then 4, 3, and then I was eventually losing like 2 to 3 pounds a week, which at the weight I was is pretty decent. It's still quite a lot of weight to lose, but the bigger you are, the easier it is to lose weight, especially when you do cut your calories, if it makes sense. So if you guys want to see what my weekly weigh-ins were, I definitely recommend checking out my Instagram that I was documenting my weight loss on, because I did start documenting my weight loss. I didn't do it like for followers or anything like that. Like I didn't think that like I would be where I'm at now. All I did, I made an Instagram because I wanted to just have somewhere I could use as like my diary and to keep me accountable and to just post and I could look back on it. So I made an Instagram account and I would post my weekly weigh-ins on there, and I'd post like how much I lost. I posted like the foods I was eating, so if you're interested in seeing what kind of foods I started eating every day kind of thing, you could go and have a look on there. It's called LouisesJourneyxo. I do have obviously a new account. That account got hacked into. I lost it for a while, so I made a new account and then I got that account back, but I already built up this account, so I've just kept it like that. So, but it's quite cool to go back and look on. But it's LouisesJourneyxo is like my old Instagram. LouisesJourney 2.0 XO is my Instagram now. So I always leave that down below anyway in the description, so you can go and have a look if you want. You can give me a follow. Tracking my food, weighing my food, it helped me learn about how much I was actually overeating and what an actual portion size is, and it helped me make like better decisions for food. Like instead of going for like a bowl of muesli, which I did try starting off with, I realised that I could actually get so much more amounts of food that will keep me full and satiated if I go for like a bowl of oats with fruit instead. So I learned to start eating high volume foods, like adding loads of fruits and veg to my meals, because I realised that they're actually not that much calories. It bulks out the meal and I'm eating more food and I'm not as hungry. Whereas if I ate like higher calorie dense foods such as nuts and peanut butter and all of those kind of foods, even though they're healthy, and avocado, even though they're healthy, you only get like a small amount for a certain, like you only get a small amount for the calories that you get. And like when I was losing weight, I started to learn how to think of my calories as almost like a budget, like what you do with money. Like when you are trying to save up for a holiday or something, you budget your money in other areas of your life. Do you know what I mean? So that's kind of how I view calories. It's like when I'm in a calorie deficit, I like to think of my calories as like I'm on a bit of a budget, so like I want to get more for my money, so, or more for my calories, so I'll go for more high volume, low calorie dense foods. So instead of like having loads of whole eggs, which is completely fine, there's nothing wrong with it, but the yolk in the egg is what makes it more calories. So instead of having like 3 eggs, I will have like 1 egg and then top it up with loads of egg whites, because you're still getting the protein, you're getting the volume, but you're just saving so many calories. So I find little tricks like that. I did loads of low calorie food swaps. I have a food swap video on my channel as well, where I go through like my favorite low calorie food swaps, and I just made those kind of food swaps, and I just ended up gradually doing it like that and changing my lifestyle. And yeah, I just carried on tracking my calories every day, and I just stuck to my calories. Like I found that planning my meals ahead of time, not like a week in advance or anything, but like always the night before, like I go to bed, I would kind of lay in bed before I go to sleep and kind of think, okay, well, what do I feel for breakfast tomorrow? What do I feel for lunch? What do I feel for dinner? And I would have an idea, and as long as I had the food in the house, like I didn't have to think about it on the spot when I was hungry, and I found that massively helped. And even sometimes at night, especially the first few weeks, I think actually the first couple of months, what I did was I'd think about it and then I'd just put it in my fitness pal, so then I know that it fits within my calories. And if I would always save like a couple of 100 calories as well, and I even do this now when I'm in a cut, I save a couple of 100 calories for just something that I feel for during the day. But as long as I've got my meals all tracked and planned at least the day before, then I don't have to think about it, and then I know what I've got left over to spend on, like, I don't know, if I wanted to have a chocolate bar or anything like that, because I did find it important to make sure that I was having a sustainable diet, if that makes sense, like a sustainable way of eating that incorporates everything. So I didn't cut out carbs, I didn't cut out fats. I did end up limiting my fats, but not because I thought fats was bad. It's just because fat contains more calories. So fats are 9 calories per gram, whereas carbs and protein is 4 calories per gram. So to eat high volume, low calorie dense foods, you tend to go for like the lower fat option. So I did eat a lower fat diet, but not out of the fact that I thought fat makes you fat. It's just the calories, if that makes sense. So yeah, I didn't make any like complete restrictions. Like I didn't say I couldn't have anything, although like, so I tried to incorporate in everything. Although the first month or 2 I did cut out like takeaways and stuff, because I was eating it every single day, so like before I lost weight. So I did kind of like be like, I'm not going to have that, I just want to focus on this. And then after, I think, to be fair, I think like my first kind of takeaway was like 6-7 months in, and then when I ate it, it didn't even taste that great. Like my taste buds completely changed, and I was like, oh, like that wasn't even that great, and I felt sluggish after, and I was like, ugh, like I didn't really feel great after, so it didn't really make me want to eat it all the time anyway. But I did incorporate like chocolate and, I don't know, biscuits here and there. Like I would literally like have 2 biscuits in the evening if I wanted to have them. I would have like 2 biscuits in the evening with a coffee, and that would be like all fit within my calories. So it was more like a sustainable way of eating, and it just helped me not feel like I was over restricting or that I was missing out on anything. And then obviously having the lower calorie alternatives to the higher calorie foods that I loved made it just so much easier, because like you learn to like it as much, if that makes sense. Like it's good enough, so it's not like I felt like I was missing out. And because I feel like it's so important to have a sustainable diet, and that's something that when I started my weight loss, I made it a priority for myself that this is going to be a lifestyle change, so I can't do anything that I won't be able to sustain forever. So I wanted to make it so that I could eat whatever I want, but I just have to learn the calorie contents and like make sure that I am eating within my calories and leaving enough to have a deficit to lose body fat. Do you know what I mean? So that's kind of how I did it. And then as for exercise wise, I did join the gym. So I went for Pure Gym because they're like a no contract gym, and I was like, I don't know whether I'll like it or not, and I don't want to be stuck in a contract and stuff. So that's why I went for Pure Gym, plus it was close to my son's school. So I would drop my son off to school, and then I'd go to the gym for like 45 minutes, maybe to an hour, but I definitely started off with like 45 minutes because, or even less than that. I think when I first started it was like half an hour, because it was like the treadmill was 20 minutes or 30 minutes. I'm pretty sure I started with 20 minutes incline walk, so I put it on an incline all the way to the top, and I would walk on the treadmill for 20 minutes. But like I was on, obviously when I first started, able to just do that full incline walk for 20 minutes. So I'd walk normally on like it being flat for a couple of minutes, and then I would incline it and then like just walk as much as I could. It was probably only a couple of minutes before I had to decline it. And then I just kept doing that. So I'd kind of catch my breath, get ready, and then like incline it again. And then over time, over the weeks and stuff, I was able to keep the incline on a little bit longer each time, and I was getting fitter and stronger. And then once I was able to walk on the incline at a full incline for 20 minutes, like without really declining it, I started adding on the elliptical, which I remember I struggled to even get 2 to 3 minutes the first time I did that. And then I gradually increased the time. I got 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and then I was eventually doing 20 minutes. So eventually I got to a point where I was doing 20 minutes full incline walk on the treadmill and then 20 minutes on the elliptical. And then I think after a little while, like I can't really remember like how long, to be honest with you, but after a while I eventually got a little bit brave and I wandered down into the weights room, where the weights part where there's the machines. So I didn't go into the free weights, but I went to the machines and I just kind of like sat on there, looked at the picture and just tried doing weights basically, and I just do 10 reps of everything, and I'll just stick it on a weight that felt like I could do 10 reps. And I was just like just trying to get used to doing the movements. I didn't really know what I was doing, but I remember I would get sore, so I was doing something. And then I remember I joined some classes at the gym, and it was just the more I was going to the gym, the more confident I was getting at going to the gym. So if you are like nervous about going to the gym, you feel like people will look at you, I definitely recommend even just going, doing the induction, where the instructors show you around the instructors show you around the gym and just like show you how to use the equipment and stuff. And then also like just go on like the treadmill, even just walk on the treadmill, just to get yourself like more comfortable going, and then just try out different equipments over time. And I definitely recommend getting a personal trainer eventually if you can afford it, just because like, especially if you want to lift weights and stuff, because they show you how to do it. And like for me, I really wanted to start weight training, but I didn't know where to start, and I was like, I don't want to feel like an idiot. I remember one time I walked into the men's weight room and I went on the hack squat machine and I didn't know what I was doing, and I opened it and I literally just went boom and dropped down, and like it just made a massive bang, and everyone turned around and looked at me, and I was like, all right, I'm out. I have to get a PT. But when I went in with my personal trainer, obviously you feel a lot more confident going in because you're with a personal trainer. They know what they're doing. You don't feel like people are really looking at you because everyone's doing the same thing. And then they teach you the form and teach you like how to do the exercise properly. And they can see you and like they can like, you know what I mean, like move you and like be like, okay, straighten your back. Do you know what I mean? Like they can make sure that you're doing the form right, and then they can also put you on like a plan. So like when you go in and do a few PT sessions, after that, like they can give you like a plan to follow by yourself, and then you kind of know what you're doing, so like you're not as nervous to go into the gym. So like you just go in and get on with it. So I did eventually start doing that, but that was after we had lockdown, and then I started doing boot camp classes outside with Pete, who is now like obviously my personal trainer, my coach, and I've been with him like since that basically. So I started doing boot camp classes with him, and then when gyms opened up again, I hired him as like my personal trainer, and I was doing like a session with him like every week. I think it was like a session a week or something, and then he put me a plan that I would follow. So I was doing full body 3 times a week. Eventually I went into like an upper lower body split, and then I've done all the splits. I've done upper body, lower body, I've done push pull legs, I've done like the bro split where it's like split out different muscle groups. I think I did full body 3 times a week up until like January 2021. So from like June 2020 to January 2021, and then we had like another lockdown, so I was doing like workouts from home, just like little home workouts from like the Pure Gym app and stuff, and I was working on my push-ups and all that stuff. So I was trying to keep active. I was going out for my walks. I got a Fitbit. That's another thing as well. So during lockdown I got a Fitbit and I started tracking my steps. I started increasing my steps, and increasing your daily steps just helps so much with like your daily energy expenditure. Like you burn so many more calories. So like don't just go to the gym and do like an hour workout and then come home and sit on the sofa all day, because you probably didn't burn too much calories at the gym, and you would probably burn so much more calories if you just was so much more active every day. So when I first started, I started tracking my steps. I was only getting like 4,000 steps a day, and that's with me being extra active, like what I thought was extra active. And then I gradually increased it to like 6,000, and then I increased it to 8,000, and then I increased it to 10,000, and then 12,000, and then now like I can get my average daily step count. I always aim for like 10,000 minimum, but I can get like, I don't know, it does depend on the day, but I can get like up to 18,000, 20,000 sometimes, not every day, but like my average I'm pretty sure is like at least 13, 14,000 a day. But I would say like gradually increase your steps until you can kind of aim for like 10,000. That's like the average that everyone always says. But don't just try and go from like from like a very low step count. Like say you're not really active, don't try and aim for 10,000 because that's not really sustainable. Aim to just gradually increase it by like a couple of thousand steps every day. Try and get out for like 30-minute walk every single day, and then gradually increase it. But yeah, other things exercise wise I've started doing, like I started doing throughout my weight loss to help me lose weight, was I really enjoyed spin classes. So I was going to a lot of spin classes. Obviously I was doing the boot camp classes during lockdown and stuff, and then I still carried on throughout the rest of that year as well. I was doing push-ups, like, so I could never do a push-up to ever. I couldn't even like do the sofa ones, like where you're on the edge of the sofa. If you do want to know how to do a push-up, I'm like just promoting all of my videos, but I just do it, saying it for guys like you guys that, I don't know, you might want to learn how to do a push-up and learn how I learned how to do a push-up, because I don't think I would ever be able to do one. You have a video going through all the variations and like how I built myself up, and kind of like going through my videos as well, because I did like document that on my Instagram as well. I did get a back injury because I got a pull-up bar at home trying to work out from home, and it came off the door. When I actually have a video of that as well. I've literally videoed my life. But I tried doing a pull-up, and I had like bands on as well. I think that's probably why it fell, and it literally just like came off, and I landed on my coccyx, and that messed my back up for months. Like it was like over a year until my back felt like it went back to normal. And even now it's not even the best. Like I can't sit down for too long, otherwise like my lower back starts aching and hurts, or like I'm just very wary of my back. But it's all right now. But what I did when I had a back injury, that nearly threw me off. Like I remember just feeling so upset, because it was literally after I just finished losing weight and I started maintaining, and like that just made me feel like I was just going to lose all the muscle that I'd spent months trying to build. I felt like I was going to regain all of my weight back. I remember just feeling so depressed, and like just not having exercise to do, it just made me feel so depressed. Like I just remember feeling like I can't even exercise, that's it, like I'm going to gain all the weight back, this has been for nothing, and I was so dramatic. But what I did was I had to like snap myself out of it. I was like, come on Louise, you know it's not like that. You know, like, yeah, you can't exercise, but I could get out and go for walks, so I'd still go for walks. I couldn't walk when I first injured my back. I couldn't walk that much because I was getting like sciatica down my legs and stuff as well from it. So I just did what I could. I walked as much as I could, and I just adjusted my calorie intake to fit that me not being as active, and I didn't gain any weight. I actually started losing weight because I think I reduced my calories too much, thinking that I was less active than what I was. So then I had to keep like trying to gradually increase my calories and stuff. So yeah, that's how I kind of got through my injury. Just can't trying to go through everything with you guys. But yeah, I didn't have any surgery or anything like that. It was just through counting calories. I do have some loose skin, so if you do want to see what my loose skin looks like, I have 3 videos showing my loose skin. So one basically straight after I lost weight, the other one was a year after I lost weight and I built a bit of muscle, and then the third one is this year, like literally like a couple of months ago, because I what my loose skin looks like. And you see a little bit of improvement, but you can obviously go and watch that yourself. And I do have like a Q&A about loose skin on my channel. Let me know if you want like an updated Q&A about loose skin, because I don't know what other questions there are, but you guys might have some questions about loose skin. Or like, I haven't really done anything to basically tighten up any skin, and I haven't had any skin surgery. Kind of had my main focus when I first started losing weight as just losing the fat. I didn't really have a goal of building muscle when I first started. I didn't even think about building muscle. I just wanted to lose fat. So my main focus was to lose fat. And then the reason why I started wanting to build muscle was because I did start noticing that my skin was getting looser. And as you lose weight, it kind of gets to an awkward stage where there's like, the skin's loose, but it also has a bit of fat in there still. And it almost looks like you feel a lot more like floppy, a lot more saggy, do you know what I mean? And I remember thinking like, oh, my arms was like a big thing for me because they were so big, and then they just started going really hangy. And I just remember thinking like, I need to tone these up, I need to add some muscle, I need to do something. So that's why I wanted to do my push-ups. And then I started doing push-ups, and I started noticing like my shoulders were like getting a bit like muscle, and it just motivated me. And especially with the boot camps that I was doing, because he incorporates like weights in there and stuff as well, I remember just thinking like, oh, I actually really enjoy it, I want to start, like let me just get into it. And then I'm telling you, like, I used to think I hated exercise, but when I started lifting weights, it's like I love it so much. Like, I love doing it. So like when I started doing it, I was like, when I caught the hang of it and everything, and then just the feeling of being sore and like pushing myself, like I just love it. Like, I loved it so much, and I just fell in love with lifting weights. That's kind of how I changed my body composition. I filled in quite a lot of the loose skin with muscle. Yeah, so I didn't take any pre-workouts at all for like a year, and then I started taking pre-workout. Didn't take creatine until I was gonna start competing. So I did a bikini competition in April last year, but I started the year before, so 2021. So about a year and a half into losing weight and then going to the gym, I started taking creatine. Maybe it was probably closer to 2 years actually. Started taking creatine, and to be fair, I haven't been taking creatine for a while. It's on and off. I should be taking it more regularly for it to be effective. But yeah, so that's the only 2 things. I did start taking like omega vitamins, omega-3 fish oils and stuff, just because I do have a lower fat diet, so I wanted to make sure I was getting like enough fat, like supplementing with that. Sometimes I take like a multivitamin and stuff, but other than that, like I don't take any other, like, I always get asked like, do I take any PEDs? No, I don't. I've never taken a PED or steroid or anything like that, and I don't plan to. So yeah, I just wanted to put that there as well. So yeah, like during my maintenance, the thing that's helped me is just setting goals. So obviously I had my bikini competition, which was a massive goal for me. I went through prep, which I also documented on my YouTube channel. Do you see why you should subscribe? Because everything is on here, right? But yeah, so I found like setting goals through maintenance just massively helps, because when you're losing weight, you have the goal of losing weight and that is your goal. When you start maintaining, it's just all of the same. So for me, setting goals like the bikini competition, just building muscle. Like even if it wasn't the competition or after I finished competition, it was to build muscle and to gain strength. So I was more focusing on like improving every time I go to the gym and like lifting heavier and just seeing my muscles kind of grow. And then I obviously set my most recent goal was the photo shoot that I just done, which I've got my pictures back. I'll probably just, I don't know, I probably posted some of the pictures already at the beginning of the video, but I got my pictures back from the photo shoot. I can't believe that's me. I love the pictures, it's just crazy. I've tried not to post every single picture at once, but it's kind of hard because I just want to show you guys. I'm like, look, but I'm trying to savor it, just little drop it here and there, do you know what I mean? I find that just setting goals for myself just helps keep me on track, and that's how I've changed my body composition, is just by lifting weights, by losing fat. I try and stay active. I try to go for lower calorie, high volume foods. I do have takeaways here and there. I do drink alcohol sometimes. I do have chocolate sometimes. I just have it a lot less than what I did before, and I actually enjoy my lifestyle so much more now than what I did before. I used to be an emotional eater, and I thought that by changing my lifestyle, by taking away the food, I would be sad, but it's not true. Like I'm so much more happier. I don't suffer with depression and anxiety anymore. Obviously I have times where I feel low and where I feel anxious, but that's normal for everyone. And obviously I'm not saying that losing weight fixed my mental health, but it's more like the habits and the lifestyle changes that I've made that have helped me deal with it. And I've kind of gone through a lot of healing and like thinking back on things and experiences I've had and things that I've gone through that's led me to the point of getting to being morbidly obese. And I did have to like not only work on physical stuff like counting my calories and exercising and eating healthier, I had to like work on deep-rooted issues that I had with myself and insecurities I had with myself, and learning how to sit with my emotions and how to go through them. Just counting my calories and weighing out my food and tracking it and everything, it took away a lot of me being able to emotionally eat, because every time I felt emotional I had an urge to eat food. I knew I already tracked like my food, I knew what I was gonna have, and I wasn't gonna over consume my calories. Like I just didn't make it an option, so it took it away. So I had to find something else to do rather than just eat when I knew I weren't hungry and I knew I was emotional. So I would like make it a thing that if I was feeling really low or really down, I would run myself like a nice bubble bath. I would have a face mask, I'll listen to some music, like I'll really relax myself, or I'll go for a walk, or like I just forced myself to sit there with it, and I felt like that massively helped. This is just my lifestyle now. Like I don't really think about it. I don't think I'll ever regain my body weight back. Like I will have times where my body weight will fluctuate up, like I will gain body fat and I'll lose body fat and I'll gain, like I feel like that's a normal part of life, where like sometimes over certain periods of the year, like your birthday or Christmas, where you are going out and eating a lot more, that your body fat will go up a little bit. I feel like that's normal for everyone, even people that don't struggle with their weight. But I don't see myself ever going back to being morbidly obese again, like ever that size, not even anywhere near it. So I feel like I have lost the weight, and I'm gonna keep it off for good. Like I'm telling you, I'm putting it in a video right here. I'm keeping it off forever. It ain't finding me again. It's been lost, and it's been lost for like 3.5 years, nearly 4 years. It can stay lost. But yeah, that's how I lost the weight. I just did want to put it in a video and try and go over everything. I hope like I've gone over everything. There's gonna be something I've missed out that someone's gonna be like, but what about this? And I forgot, but it's fine. I hope that you guys found this video helpful. I hope I answered like anyone's questions on how I lost weight. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Don't forget, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like. It really helps out the video. I really appreciate it. And if you haven't already, subscribe and click the bell button to get a notification every time I upload. Join the family here on YouTube. We would love to have you. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.